guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm giving you an update on my health. Yesterday I had an appointment with my primary care doctor, and he just kind of wanted to do a follow-up from my emergency room visit the week before, well, a few days before. He diagnosed it as SVT, which is supraventricular tachycardia. It is a mouthful, so SVT. He was telling me, you know, to kind of take it easy. He didn't want, you know, even though it's a small chance, didn't want like a stroke triggered. So he told me to take some time off work. So he wrote me a doctor's note for like a week and a half to kind of take that off and recuperate, while the readings from my Holter monitor, which I currently have on right now, and I have this handy dandy little monitor here, which I remember having one of these back in 2000 when I first tried to do a Holter monitor when I was like 19, because I was like, something's wrong here. But it only lasted like a couple of minutes. It wasn't like it is now where it's like 3 hours. So their Holter monitor wasn't able to catch anything, but at that time it was like a freaking VHS tape and weighed like 5 pounds, and I'm like trying to continue with my physical activities. I'm like, how do you run with a 5-pound VHS tape in your hands? And now it's like a ginormous pager, which is much better and much lighter too. So if I feel like I'm having an event, I can press on the button while I take this out and press on the button. And Wally's been a pretty good nurse, but he's on break right now actually. So he's gonna be wandering around. And then I have a log that I'm supposed to fill out, you know, whenever, you know, the episode happens. How did I feel? What, you know, what was going on at the time? Then I have to put like exercise and when I go to bed tonight and when I wake up tomorrow, because it's only a 24-hour Holter monitor. So anyway, so my doctor said it'll probably take about that week for the cardiologist to kind of go through the reading in here and see kind of what's going on. And then he said they might possibly have to prescribe some medication. So he says then I might want to take more time off. He says you probably want to take off like 3 weeks and, you know, really let your stress levels calm down. He says because this might be from acute stress, since my thyroid came back normal and everything else on me says I'm super healthy. That's Wally climbing his condo over there. Yeah, they said just like zen out, just like no stress, just, you know. And I said, well, I'm gonna be going to school tomorrow because I really want this to catch something, so I need to go about my day like normal. And they will have a sub on hand so that, you know, if I don't get to finish the day, which is probable, the sub can just go right in. But it's a little stressful because I've never been out of school for so long. Like usually it's like maybe I take a day a month. So anyway, I decide to make an acupuncture appointment. I tried to get one yesterday with my Chinese mom, Dr. Wang, but she was booked yesterday, but so I got put on a waiting list, and then I was able to get in today before I got hooked up for my Holter monitor. Dr. Wang was like, oh, you quit your job already? And I'm like, oh, that's right, it's the middle of the day. Oh, no, actually I'm out for my heart. And so I filled her in on everything that was going on. And so she had me lie down, and I've had this like knot in my neck roughly like a day after I got that whole emergency room thing, and I just kind of figured I slept wrong. And so before I didn't even tell her there was like a knot in my neck. She just like felt on my back and right away made a beeline for the knot that was in my neck. And she was like, oh, she says, first, unrelated to heart, she says, bad spirit has entered here, which is interesting because anytime I have a large knot, it's always on this side of my neck, and usually she always says it's where the spirits enter, where they hold on to me. And she says, she was like, I feel like this sadness in your body, but it's not really yours. And she says, then I will release this. And so she put a needle in my calf, and I was like, ah! Normally her needles don't really hurt, but that one did. And I told her, I was like, my leg hurts. And she was like, really? And then all of a sudden it didn't hurt. And she was like, oh, it is released now. And I'm like, okay, so alrighty then. Spirit is released. She started talking about my heart, and so she was kind of feeling around, and she said, how long has this persisted? And I said, oh, well, when I was 19, I, you know, had a little something with this. And she said, no, this is since birth. And she says, okay, she says, I know now. She says, you got this from your mother. She says, could be past life, but she says this condition is, she says, is from the coming into this life with your mother, who has, you know, my mom's not the nicest woman in the world, and not really a mom either. But so she said that, you know, that kind of trauma coming into the world is, you know, what this was. She says, you know, your literal heart in metaphorical heart. And she said, so she says, I feel in here that, she says, you are still quite angry with your mother. She says, but you rationalize it. She goes, you're very much up here all the time, where you try to rationalize, say, you know, that's silly, you know, this woman didn't know what she was doing, and you know, I'll just stay away from her. And she says, you know, it's okay to be angry with the people that hurt you. She goes, it doesn't make you like less spiritual or like less of a loving person. She says that, you know, people make us angry. She goes, that happens. She says, even me, she says, I was very angry at my mother for a long time. And she says, it's okay. It's okay for you to be angry with your mom. And she says, you don't have to think, oh, that's an irrational, you know, reaction, and, you know, I'm an adult now. She says, you don't have to. She says, you need to finally give yourself the time to scream into a pillow, beat your hands into the bed. And she goes, cry. She goes, I don't think you've actually ever cried for all the pain your mother has given you. She says, I think you've always held it inside and decided to make everything logical and to think everything away. And I'm like, nail on the head. So she says, you need to cry and release it. She says, that's why this is coming up for you so hard now. She says, because now, she says, you want to be a healer. You want to help all these people. She goes, your little business is doing so well, and so many people are connecting with you. And she says, in order for you to be a healer, you need to release that motherly trauma. She says, so you can be like that mother, you know, to the world. And I said, I thought I released it. And she's like, not if your heart's acting up. And she says, when you release that, this will get better. And I was like, okay. And she said, so, and she put a needle right here, and she really pushed it out. I was like, ow. And she was like, you need to cry. And I was like, that hurts. So she's like, you need to cry. And so finally she got a tear out of my eye, and she was like, there you go. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And she was like, you need to allow yourself. She goes, how hard was that to get tears out of you? She goes, you know, it's okay to cry. She was like, that doesn't make you bad or weak or less spiritual. She's like, cry, get it out. She says, it's okay to have the whole gamut of our emotions. She says, you want to be angry, get it out. You want to be happy, get it out. You want to cry, get it out. She says, doesn't make you good, bad, just, it's emotions. Why do we hold them in? She was like, just get them out. And I was like, okay. And she says, if you want to help people, you need to learn to allow your emotions to flow. And she says, I think you guard yourself so much, you don't allow them to flow. And she says, you're so willing to help others. And she says, but you are not the nicest person to yourself. And I said, I try to be good to myself. And she was like, you need to let the emotions out. So I said, okay. She left the room, and you know, we're also talking a little about that family I've told you guys about before, that family, the ones that kid's grade changed from a B to an A because they want to fight for extra credit from last semester, and now we only got like 8 weeks in the school year, and then he's already been accepted to college and everything, so now they're just fighting on principle and because they want to punish me. So my boyfriend and everybody have said that, you know, this is affecting your health. You know, you literally could have lasting heart damage and brain damage, because my cognitive function's a little sketchy because of this too. And he was like, it's not worth, he says, me like losing my girlfriend or, you know, all of this. He's like, because of this stupid family. And so he's like, just walk away, like just walk away. And I tried to tell Dr. Wing, I was like, I feel like I can't walk away. And she was like, you need to walk away. And then I said, do you think this crazy mom is triggering me and reminding me of my own crazy mother? And she said, yes, the universe sent you this family, this mother, so that you could heal your own mother wounds. And I was like, whoa, that's intense. So once she left the room, I'm laying there and I'm looking up, and this thought came to my mind that says, I want to win. Like, I want to, like, beat the family, because they're being bullies. And I'm like, I want to win against the bully. And all of a sudden, it's like I had this eureka light bulb. There was music, and it was like, that's it. I want to win against the bully, and that's what's giving me problems, because my mother was the bully, and I wanted to win. I wanted her to be punished for the things that she had done. And so, I've always held this resentment, and oh, I wish this happens to her, that happens to her. And even with that family, oh, I wish they would just go away. I wish this and that. And so all of a sudden it was like this realization, and I felt like I was surrounded by all my relatives that have passed away. Like, both grandmothers were there, my grandfather was there, a couple of my good friends that have passed away were there. Like, the whole room was filled with these people. Like, I could see them clearly. And if you guys know who Amma is, Amma was there, and Dr. Wang is really into Amma. I'm not a huge like Amma follower, but this Amma person held me, and I could feel her. Like, this was the most intense, trippy, like, acupuncture experience ever. And she's holding me like a mom, and she was like, in her Indian accent, she goes, ah, Tara, you get it now, like, you get it. And I'm like, I said, I don't want to win against the bully. And she says, like, she says, when you try to, she says, feel this like you want to win against others, like, so they should be punished. She goes, you punish yourself, because we're all connected. So she said, when you wish ill on someone else, the ill is with you. She says, but it's okay for you to be angry. It's okay for you to be sad. It's okay for you to hate what they have done. She says, and that's fine, but send them healing instead. So then all of a sudden my new, I even started saying it out loud while I was in the room. Not loud, but it was, I hope they find healing. No longer I wish ill on them. I hope they find healing. So I was like, I hope this family finds healing. I hope that mother finds healing. I hope my mother finds healing. So it was like I was angry. Like, I could, all my emotions came up. I was crying, by the way. I was like bawling my eyes out. I was like, I'm so angry at my mother, but I wish her healing, and all of a sudden it's like, I got it. And, this Amma person was like, that's it. She goes, no matter, she says, in this world, there needs to always be a balance, good, evil, bad, good. And she says, and it's okay for us to have anger and hate what people have done. Some really bad people have done really bad things. She says, but she says, you never wish ill against them, because we're all connected energetically. She goes, that comes back to us and perpetuates that negativity and that, ill will. So she's like, or in my head, or I don't know what was going on around me, but she's like, you need to say, I hope you find healing. I wish you healing. I'm angry with what you did. I don't like what you did. I hate what you've done, but I hope you find healing. And all of a sudden I started thinking about all the bad things that have happened in my life, and and I'm like, I want it to heal. I don't like it, but I wanted it to heal, and I felt so good. I cried and cried and cried. But I just, oh my gosh, it was like this huge epiphany, and I feel so much better. And when I got out of acupuncture, I saw that I had missed a call from the union president, and I'm like, oh, God damn it. I was like, and so I was ready to tell him that I'm ready to walk away, not because I want to let the bully win, but because I love myself so much, I will not hurt myself anymore. And I send this family healing, and whatever happens, happens. I don't like what they've done. It makes me very angry, but I won't hurt myself anymore over this. I love myself too much to be a part of their negativity. And so I was ready to tell him this, and then you know, I called him back. He picked up the phone. He's like, great news, I told the superintendent that, you know, you're having all these health issues. And so he goes, I was able to answer most of his questions. He goes, you know, all you have to do, he goes, if you want to, is just put, you know, I have 2 more questions, just put them in writing. And he says, and when you're up to it, like, you do this whenever you feel like it. He's like, email it to me, I'll email it to the superintendent, and we're done. No more meetings ever. And I was like, ever? He says, yeah, because after that it's a board meeting and we don't have anything to do with that. And I was like, it's all done? He's like, yeah, we're done. And I was like, wow, that releasing stuff works quick. So yeah, so I got outfitted with my Holter monitor today, and hopefully it picks stuff up. And in the meantime, while I have this time off, now I know it's now time to do some self-healing and work like that. And I am game for it, because you guys all mean a lot to me, and I want to help you guys. So this is what I got to do in order to do that well. So anyway, oh, I almost forgot. I've been holding on to this lovely piece of mica all day, and I really feel that this is somehow kind of helped me with this releasing, and I thought I would just kind of share that with you guys. But yeah, mica has helped me with this. That's all I really wanted to share with you guys. I felt like I really had to get this off my chest because it was pretty profound for me, and I feel like this might help some of you guys out there, because as you know, I like helping you guys. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments for me, put that in the comment section below. And if you guys dug this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to click that notification bell. Oh, and don't forget to head over to patreon.com/kittensweightsandtarot, because I am trying to do a kind of community-based building, giving back kind of thing, and I can't do it without the support of you guys, because it is for you guys. So I will catch you spiritual homies later. All right, peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.